Hi, it's Ree from mummyof4.com here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have got a massive speed clean with me video for you. My house was such a tip, just falling behind on putting laundry away, so much cleaning, bed changing, things to do. So let's take a look at what needs to be done. The children's rooms are an absolute tip. They've pulled stuff out into the hall. There's just so much that needs to go away. There is laundry that's been dumped in my room that needs to go away. More of Zara's toys she's emptied everywhere. The office is a tip. Toys all over the living room. That sheet was hung up covering the window because we haven't even got curtains yet. Just so many bits and pieces to be done. But before we do that, I'd just love it if you would subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. As you know, I like to start my cleaning sessions with a load of laundry, so I'm just grabbing a dirty towel from the bathroom and the wet washing that's been left in the bath. Now we keep the wet washing separately just so that I know to wash it as a priority and we don't end up with like a soggy towel or flannel or something in the laundry hamper and left there for any length of time and causing damp and yuckiness. We don't want that. So I'm just shoving a load of towels in. I'm using Method Laundry detergent, no softener because it stops the towels becoming absorbent. I am, however, sticking in a capful of Zoflora, which will sanitize the towels. So now we're going to move on to Zara's room, which, as you can see, is a bit of a tip. I'm getting her to help me. I always like to encourage the children to help me, especially when it's their own mess. It's a really good habit to teach them, to sort of teach them to look after their own spaces. If you just get them started younger and you make a bit of a game of it, they don't tend to mind. Now what we're doing is sorting her soft toys into this bean bag. It's literally a bean bag with no beans in it, and it is the best way to store soft toys. Moving on to her bed. Now her bed didn't actually need changing. I changed the sheets pretty recently, so I'm just making her bed. I do find a made bed just makes the whole room look so much better. It's like an instant makeover for a room if you can just pick up a few bits off the floor and make the bed, even if you don't have time to do much else. But today we are going to do cleaning as well as tidying. Although the tidying does seem to take a while when you have small children. Look, they like to empty everything out of their rooms onto the landing. Let me know in the comments, do your children do that? My children are like little furniture removal specialists. Zara's first steps were taken carrying one of those IKEA chairs, honestly. She just loves moving furniture. Now we're on to dusting, or dustering as my children call it. They love these dusters. You can dust without using any chemicals at all, so it's very kiddie friendly, and the heads just pop off and go in the washing machine, so you don't need to sort of use any disposable things. It's all kind of quite environmentally friendly, and it's just a super easy way to do it, and they love it. Look, I mean, they just think it's so much fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're much help, it's not much use, they're dusting carpet and stuff, but at least they're happy, they feel they're joining in, it's something we can all do together. So I'm just dusting the blinds, they are dusting all the things, the walls, all the unhelpful things, but they are having fun, which I guess is the main point, that they feel they're helping without actually whinging, which is always good. So I'm just dusting over the TV and the chest of drawers thing, and then popping all of her soft dolly toys on there. I get asked where those are from a lot. They are all from the Disney store that we've collected over the years. They've had various birthdays and things, and they just love them, but I do get asked about that a lot. Now I'm picking up some bits and pieces off the floor so that I can vacuum the carpet. I do love when vacuum cleaners make those really satisfying lines in the carpet, and obviously I'm not that fussy, I've not made them into stripes or anything, but I don't know, it just kind of makes me happy. I'm using my cordless Dyson, which is super easy, not to have cords trailing all over the place. It lasts about probably 30 minutes on battery life, which is just fine for the way I am cleaning, as in with children around me in bursts, and then I can plug it back in and do something else, and as soon as it's charged, carry on. So that's Zara's room done, and let's move on to Bella's room. Now, Bella especially often feels really overwhelmed by her bedroom when it's a real mess. Now, I think as adults we can feel like this too, kind of looking at a messy room and thinking, ugh, help, send help, I don't know where to begin. But when we kind of all muck in and I kind of cheer up and go, yay, come on, we can do this together, she's always so delighted when her room is actually tidy and really like very much, oh, mummy, can my room always be like this? And yes, darling, it can always be tidy. We just have to sort of keep it tidy. I think it's our job as parents to sort of encourage our children and teach them these habits, because if they're taught when they're little how to stay on top of things and keep things tidy, it just becomes more of a natural thing to do as you're older, and then you don't feel the overwhelm as much when you're an adult. Well, that's the hope anyway, because I really feel like I had to teach myself how to be organised and be tidy, and that was quite a struggle as an adult, quite a difficult habit to learn. So hopefully, I don't know, I guess I'll have to just report back to you. I shall have to ask my children when they are older if that is true, if teaching them these habits as children helps them in their adult life. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Were you brought up to be tidy, and are you now a tidy person, or were you brought up in a messy household and do you now live in a tidy or a messy household? I would be really, really curious actually to find out if you feel that how you were when you were being brought up has impacted how you are now. Anyway, enough of that very deep psychological stuff. On to more cleaning. We're still dusting, or dustering. Dustering is what the children call it, and I think it's too cute to correct them. Dusting Bella's dressing table, which she loves. She just loves sitting here and colouring and things. She also loves having it covered in clutter, but she likes it when it's clear. It just does tend to accumulate clutter. You can see she's got a lot of things on her bed. Bella likes things. She likes having all her things around her. So just vacuuming over in her bedroom, and then we will be ready to move on to the next room. There you go, that's Bella's room. Still lots of cuddly toys and things, but it's so much tidier. The surfaces are clear, and as the surfaces are clear, she's less likely to dump more stuff, because clutter, I do find, tends to attract more clutter. Now we are moving on to William's room. Now I would say William is my tidiest child. He is most likely to keep things neat and tidy. This is possibly because I started him younger. I think with my eldest, I didn't encourage him to do any sort of helping at all around the home, because he was 7 before I had another baby, and quite frankly it was just easier to do things myself rather than to get him to muck in. And then I realised that as you have more children, it's not practical to do absolutely everything for absolutely all of them, and I really wasn't doing my eldest, my only child at the time, any favours by not kind of getting them involved. So with the little ones, I've always got them kind of involved in, right, come on, it's time to change the beds, come on, it's time to tidy rooms, and I've got them involved from when they were very little, and I think it's really helped. Now you'll notice we were just popping up the duvet cover before putting it in the wash, and now taking that duvet cover out of the pillowcase which it was stored in. So I store the children's bedding in their own rooms, that way if I've got to change their beds in the middle of the night or something because they've been sick, I can. And then always make sure you pop her up a duvet cover before bunging it in the machine, otherwise you get things like pillowcases lost inside duvet covers that you just never know they've gone. I also think it's where a lot of socks end up, so if you've ever lost socks, look inside duvet covers, they're probably in there. Now this William's bed is a mid-sleeper bed, which I will link below actually, because I get asked about this a lot. It's a lovely bed and he loves playing underneath it. It's not too bad for changing because I can physically change it from the floor if I want to. I am only 5'4", so I'm not super tall or anything, but I just find actually the easiest way to do it is to climb on top of it. But at least because it's not a super high bed, I'm not banging my head on the ceiling either. I can manage it. So if I could change it from the floor, I don't know. Have your children got a high bed, and how do you change it? Do you climb up and onto it, or do you sort of struggle from the floor? What is your preferred method? Now it's time to get all of William's toys back onto his bed. So he's going to do that for me, and I am going to fold up all these blankets, or blankies as the children like to call them. They never used to call them blankies when they were little. This is like a new thing they call them, but whatever. It makes them happy, you know, pick your battle. If they want to call it a blankie, they want to call it a blankie. They mostly like playing with them. They like making curtains under the bed, and it's a den, and it's this, it's that. They're just, I don't know, do your children like playing with blankets? Or is that just my children who, you know, have plenty of toys but prefer blankets? Now, time to vacuum all underneath William's bed and around his room. He's not got loads of floor space, which again is why it's been quite nice to have that space under the bed. But he and Bella, especially during this lockdown time, they've become really good friends and they really enjoy playing under there together. So that's William's room, looking pretty neat and tidy. Now I'm going to take William's dirty sheets down to the laundry room and get those ready to wash, and just vacuum the landing. And then once the landing is all done, we are going to head downstairs because it's nearly time for the children to have some lunch. So before lunch, I'm just going to get Zara to help me pick up all this Duplo which has been left everywhere. We store the toys in these boxes. They're called Drono boxes from IKEA, and they fit into these Kallax units. And what I can do is quite a lot of toy rotation because all the boxes fit in all the different units. I know that I can tip them out. I mean, they're different colour boxes in different rooms, but it's quite easy to just tip them out and put them back. Oh, my teenager is making a brief appearance. He did consent. I said, you do realise you're about to walk into the shot here and you're going to get filmed. He didn't mind. He's like, it's okay. We'll be in this very small section of the video. Anyway, now it's time to swap over the washing. That first load I put on has finished. So we're going to put William's bedding and some more laundry in to wash with a little reusable colour catcher. We are using fabric softener because there's no absorbent stuff in this load, as well as the normal detergent. So that is all going on, and now I'm going to put some drying on. I'm going to empty the dryer first. Now you will notice my tumble dryer is stacked on top of my washing machine. Oh, that's a fluff bin, by the way. That is to put the fluff in from the dryer. I keep it on top of the dryer, and honestly, why I never had one of these before, I don't know. Anyway, that stacker thing with the drawer, I will link that below because the pulley-outy drawer thing creates like a shelf, which is really, really handy for sorting washing. Now I'm sorting this clean, dry washing into these units. These are more Drono boxes in my Kallax unit, this is my kind of laundry system. So there's a box for each family member, and the clean, dry stuff goes in there. When the boxes are full, they are given to said family member to put away. Now, a lot of this stuff is dry towels and things, so the little pink things, those are like cheeky wipes, which are basically little flannels. They used to use as baby wipes, but now we just use sort of for hands and faces and things really. So some of those are kept downstairs for meal times and some upstairs in the bathroom for washing faces. I've got the towels, which when we moved, I did buy new towels because our towels were really kind of mismatched and really sort of just really a bit skanky and threadbare and gross. So I bought these. I've been really pleased with them. They've washed really well. They're just grey Egyptian cotton towels. They weren't expensive at all, so I'll link those below because I get asked about those a lot too. Now that box I just emptied into that basket was my teenager's box. It was full, so that stuff is going to his room. I'm dumping that on his bed so that he can sort that after he's had his lunch. Now while the children are having their lunch, I am going to do a little bit of dusting around the TV and along this unit. This is my remote control holder. It's just literally a place, like a little, I think it's supposed to be a candle holder or something, but that white thing is where the remote controls go because it was driving me insane that we could never find the remote controls. Now it's like, guys, put them back there and then we know where they are. So I'm just moving the sofa. I'm going to vacuum round a little bit with my Dyson. Oop, knocking things over, whoops. Anyway, vacuum around a bit with my Dyson before I go over the floors with some anti-bac because we've got mostly laminate downstairs with just a couple of rugs and things. So I'm going to use this, which is my Method Wild Rhubarb anti-bac floor cleaner. Now you can just spray this directly onto the floor and then kind of just mop it up, but I use this, which is called the Vileda 1-2 spray. I will link this below as well, and it's great because it's an easy peasy way to mop the floor and clean the floors without making them super soggy, because you will find that's a real pain when you've got children. These are my mop socks. Now my teenager especially laughs at me incessantly for wearing these, but it's because when you have damped the floor a bit, so what I'm doing is there's like a trigger thing and it squirts out the floor cleaner and then I mop it up. But although the floor is not soggy as if you were using a traditional mopping bucket, it's slightly damp, and I hate the sort of the sticky stuff from the floor cleaner getting on my feet, and I hate having footprints all over my nice clean floor. So by using these mop socks, it's like cleaning the floor as you go without leaving the footprints. So personally I think it's genius. My teenager thinks I look like a tool, which possibly I do, but I'm not sure I care about that. So, you know, what does it matter? What does it matter anyway? Just out in our hall area now, making sure that the neat bits have been picked up by the vacuum cleaner, and then all the laminate is done. Sometimes I do like pick up the rugs and do underneath all of the rugs, but not today. Just not today. It doesn't always happen. Next job is to clean and tidy around the children's toy kitchen, which is just a bit dusty really. The inside of the toy kitchen, much like my actual kitchen, is organised with baskets, so it's just easier to scoop up all the toys into the baskets, and I just find it's a much easier way for them to put their toys away. And then I'm just doing the floor around there and then moving on to my kitchen, my actual kitchen, not the toy kitchen. So we're spraying over with a bit of Method Pink Grapefruit Multi-Surface Cleaner, just wiping over the surfaces after any mess that's been made from lunch. The children have had their lunch now, and Zara's gone for a nap, and the little ones are playing. It's just giving me an opportunity to finish another couple of jobs. Now, I didn't realise until we came to move here that the Method Wild Rhubarb, so the Wild Rhubarb anti-bac that I use on the floor is fine, but you're not supposed to use the Method anti-bac stuff on granite or quartz, which we have got quartz worktops. So I've had it direct from Method actually, but the pink grapefruit stuff that I'm using is fine for quartz and granite. Just avoid the anti-bac stuff on those surfaces. So now just doing these white tiles. Mop socks are back on. So, I mean, you can let me know in the comments if you want. Mop socks, genius or ridiculous? It's okay, I can take it, because I don't mind really. I don't mind if I look ridiculous, because it works for me. But I will link them below as well actually, because if you absolutely just need to look as cool as me and just can't live without mop socks another minute, then I will link those. Anyway, into the office where we do try and keep this tidy. That's the children's pen caddy. We are using this room for homeschool because we are still homeschooling. We have decided to keep the children home until September, by the way. It is June when I'm filming this. It's only 1 out of my 4 children that's been invited back to school with the way that it has worked where we live. And it would only be for 3 or 4 weeks for 1 day a week. So I just thought for the sake of potentially 3 to 4 days, I'm just going to carry on homeschooling them all until September rather than just sending one of them back for 3 or 4 days, because that's just the way it's going to work for us, and then hopefully they can all go back in September. Now back to cleaning. I am actually wiping off the marks with a magic eraser. I will link those below as well, because the felt tips, the washable felt tips, come off these tables quite well, but as soon as they use a wax crayon on those tables, they are a nightmare to get off. But those magic erasers are actual magic or witchcraft or something, because they do get those marks off, but just nothing else works. So we've been over with the vacuum, now just using my Bryleda 1-2 spray and making the floor smell divine, as well as being anti-bac as well. And that's the office looking a lot tidier, and the lounge and kitchen too. So now downstairs is looking okay. We can move back upstairs and tackle a bit of my bedroom. Moving all the toys. I can't actually put them in Zara's room because she's napping, but put them outside her door ready to go in. And then I'm going to use a duster, I guess that's what the children call them, for dustering, and just do over some of the surfaces, like my dressing table. And now to put away some of these clothes, which have come up from where they dry. They dry downstairs on that hanging rail in the laundry area, and then they get brought up and put into the relevant person's room. But first they get brought up and dumped on my bed, and they have to be put away from there. So that's my clothing on the right hand side of the wardrobe, and then the left hand side of that slidey wardrobe is my husband's. And then the towels go in these boxes in my bedroom, mainly because our airing cupboard doesn't have loads and loads of space in it. It's got a big tank in there, and it's got space for dirty washing, and it's got a big high shelf. But towels I do find easier to keep in that unit in my bedroom, which is near enough to the bathroom anyway. Now I've wiped over the bedside units and it's time to change our sheets. I will link a blog post below that just lists out everything I've got in our bedroom, because I get asked so many different times about where are the sheets from, which are the pillow protectors, all of that is linked below. Now do not forget, we have to pop her up the duvet cover before it gets in the wash so that nothing gets lost inside it. And now I am actually stripping off the sheet, and time to get some new sheets, which are stored in this top box. And like I said, it's good to store, if you've got the space to, the bedding inside the bedroom where it's then going to end up. It just makes life so much easier. Now I've actually realised halfway through changing this that I wanted to change the mattress protector as well. I don't change the mattress protector every time I change the bed, I change it every other time I change the bed. So that was me going, was I supposed to do this? Yeah, I think I was. I'm a firm believer that it's well worth investing in mattress protectors and pillow protectors, especially for your mattress, because you spend a lot of money on a nice mattress and you just want to keep it nice. You don't want one of your children to come in, vomit on your bed, for it to seep through the sheets and ruin your mattress forever. It's not cool. You do not want that. It is worth getting a mattress protector. I will link mine in that blog post below, as I said. Now, if you've got an Ottoman bed like mine, not only is it amazing for storing absolutely loads of stuff underneath, which you can see I've done there, but this is the easiest way to change a sheet as well, and to just make sure it's kind of nice and neatly tucked under. Now, if you are on the lookout for a new bed, ours is from Arista Living. It was gifted to us and I love it. I have got a discount code, which I shall put up on screen now. Ours is the king-sized Ottoman with extra storage, if you are wondering, but it's definitely worth having a little look on their website. I can highly recommend them. Now, I have said in previous videos that I try not to change all the beds in one day, and obviously in this particular clean I am changing more than one bed in one day, but I think it's just because I know that I have already got Will's bedding in the washing machine, so there's not like a backlog I've created, and that's what I don't like to do. I don't like to strip all the beds at once and to just not be able to get in the laundry room because I've got so much waiting to be washed. Whereas because I know that I've already got Will's bed in and I can take that out shortly and put it in the dryer and I'll be able to wash this stuff, it's not stressing me out too much. But generally that's why I like to stagger it. So even if it's just like I wash some in the morning and then some in the afternoon, I prefer that to go into the laundry room, not be able to see the floor because there's so much bedding to do. By the way, you've probably noticed I do not iron my bedding. Now, I'm fully aware that some people may judge me for this, and ideally in an ideal world we all have beautifully ironed sheets, but I don't personally have time in my life for that, and quite frankly most of my bed is covered by either that pink throw or the multiple cushions anyway, so there's a very small amount that you can actually see. So I've made that decision in my life. I don't iron bedding. Now I am spraying the bed with some homemade fabric freshener, which there's a blog post down in the description below which you can check out if you want to make your own. I'm now popping that dirty bedding into this basket to go down to the laundry room, and that will go in the washing machine as soon as the current load has finished. I've just got to give my bedroom floor a quick once over with a vacuum cleaner, and that's it for this speed clean. If you have liked this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday and Thursday and Sunday at 7 PM. On screen now you can catch my latest video and another video you may enjoy from my channel.